Welcome, welcome, business owning moms, to my coveted maternity leave planning roadmap. Today's topic is called the anchor activity. And frankly, this is one of the very first things that we set up in our coaching program called Bond for business owners who are planning maternity leave. It's a big time thread through our life and our business. And I call it the anchor activity because it's really supposed to anchor you to yourself, how you're feeling, what you are experiencing, how things are going, what you feel pulled to, what you feel like may need to fall away. And I don't believe that we, as females and business owners, allow ourselves the consistency of having something like this inside of our life and inside of our business. And when I started doing an anchor activity, I personally journal. And journaling to me is my thread. It helps me check in with myself and really think through how I am feeling because I'm sure as a mom and a business owner in today's world, you are probably inundated with lots of things, lots of opinions, lots of content, lots of research, lots of articles and books and podcasts that you can consume and read. And I believe that the majority of folks like myself who are online producing content, trying to get that out to the masses, are doing so with fabulous intention. And it might not all be for you. It might not be something that you choose to implement into your life. And I think giving yourself the safe space to be able to process all the information that you are learning, really sit with your feelings, your emotions, the things that are changing around you is such a gift to you because then when you go to implement maybe something that you learned in our roadmap series, you can say, great, I loved what Ali taught. And 80% of this feels like it's for me, but I'm going to let the last 20% fall away. And that is wonderful. So here's what an anchor activity actually is. It's something that anchors us into our day so that we can check in with ourselves. So it can be a journaling practice, it can be stretching or movement. So if you go for a walk, it can be something that you listen to, so sounds or a specific song that you really like. These types of things are going to help us just kind of like recall back in, coming home to ourselves, really spending the time with our thoughts, with our feelings, with what's going on. It also can help us, and I know this is true for me, of like spiraling too far in one direction or the other. Like life is so great and being a mom is amazing, or whoa, I can't believe this is so wild, and I feel like I can't get a hold of things. You can start to reread, like particularly for journaling for me, I can go back and read some of my feelings. I can think through how I was feeling then versus how I'm feeling now and what may have changed about life, about my baby, about my business, any of those things, my daily routine. And it's so incredibly important to just have that objective time. So, a couple of things about an anchor activity. Number one, try to make it positive. Don't be in a situation where your anchor activity is having a glass of wine or having a beer. I mean, listen, no judgment, but have it be something that's actually filling up your cup. Maybe not necessarily a way that you like try to escape or put down some of the challenges of motherhood and life. I think being fully present in sobriety with your feelings and your thoughts and all of those things is personally how it worked best for me. I remember very early with Frank, there was this lie that I told myself that when I had a beer, it helped my milk production. And while that may have been true in the very, very beginning, I ended up using it as, frankly, an excuse to have an early drink during the day. And as a mom, that didn't make me feel very good. But then I kind of ignored my feelings that I had about it. And looking back, it really wasn't something that I felt like served me. And so that I used as like my, oh, this is my me time. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to have this beer while Frank took his second nap. And it just was not a healthy thing. So have a healthy activity, journaling, meditation, stretching. So yoga, moving your body in some way, sound, walking, try to really start to breathe through some of the things. I personally also love any breathing exercises, visualization. If you want to like close your eyes and just visualize, yourself and how you're feeling and all those things, that also feels like a really, really helpful thing. Second is do it every day. I know that as an early postpartum mom, it can be really, really hard to carve out the same time every day. But I think as close as you can get to the same time every day is going to be massively helpful. When I was early postpartum with Jack, my second son, I did my journaling anchor activity after his first feeding. So we woke up at like, I don't know, 4:30 in the morning to feed Jack. And then I was like, oh gosh, I can't think of anything else. My boobs are super full and my baby needs to eat. And so I would take care of that situation. He would most often go right back to sleep after that. And so I'd put him back in the bassinet and then I would do my journaling and my reading at that time. If I wasn't reading, I would journal and then I would hop in the shower. So those types of things I think are so importantly helpful. Ideally, if you can do a nice check-in first thing in the morning, I always find that if you do a check-in earlier in the day, it's so much more likely to get done because then the chaos of the day doesn't kind of like push everything back to the queue. And this is for you. This is for you to check in with you, figure out how you're feeling and things like that. And so if you want to know, like my journaling practice is I write 3 things that I'm grateful for every single morning. And then I write out my affirmations. I usually only have about 5 or 6 of them. I say them as much as possible. When I was early postpartum, I did not say them. I just wrote them because I didn't want my baby to wake up. And then I write one thing that I can be focused on for the day. And so sometimes it'll be like one thing I want to get done at work, or it can be like one person I want to reach out to. Sometimes it's just a vibe that I can bring to the day, presence, softness, those types of things. And it's really, really helpful to just kind of level set. And then it's a free write. So anything that I'm feeling, anything that I feel like I'm challenged by. Recently, I was prompted by a friend of mine inside of a mastermind community, and they said it was called push or peak, pit, and pull. So peak is like best thing that happened yesterday or the day that you're, doing the journaling. Pit is something that you're feeling like you're really struggling through or working on. And then pull is like something that a direction that you feel like you're being pulled in. And that's another really cool journaling exercise. I usually will add that in like on a weekly basis, mostly because honestly, I only probably have like 5-10 minutes to do my journaling in the morning and I don't want it to take a half an hour. So there are variations, of course, that you can do with your anchor activity, but pick one. Pick an anchor activity, definitely weave it into your daily practice. If you feel like you are a journaler, and maybe you want to put that down for a second. Maybe going for a walk is for you, or maybe it was walking or stretching or meditating, and you feel like you only have 4 or 5 minutes to do something in the morning. Journaling is an excellent one, something that is, I believe, really, really helpful for just like turning your brain on and getting in the right headspace for the day. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you can support yourself by weaving this into your day to day and do it before you give birth to your kiddo. I think building that a new habit is always helpful. Before major changes happen in life, changing too much too fast, ultimately, I think habits fall away more often than they increase the stickiness of a new habit. So have at it. I hope you guys have a good time.